Well, thank you, Mr. Harding, for that introduction, and to Ms. Chandler for going way back in the files and digging out some of that old high school information. I certainly do appreciate the opportunity to be here and address you this evening and deliver the commencement address for the Lamar County High School class of 2010. With elections only a few days away, I'm sure any of our local candidates would love the opportunity to be here and address this many people at one time. But you chose a dairy farmer, and I certainly appreciate that honor, and I hope that you'll find my words tonight both encouraging and practical. Now, it's funny how we view the passing of time. For most of you graduates, the last 13 years probably seem like a lifetime, and for you, of course, for all practical purposes, it has been. But the older you get, the more quickly time seems to elapse. It was only 13 years ago, just a couple of months before most of you started kindergarten, that I stood to deliver the valedictory address for the class of 1997. And while you may consider the beginning of your school year a distant memory in the rearview mirror of your mind, for me, the conclusion of my school year seems like it was only yesterday. As my classmates and I assembled at George Bell Stadium that muggy May evening, yes, we were outside sweating and getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, we were experiencing a mix of emotions: relief, anxiety, hope, fear, joy, and sadness. We were ready to be through with high school, but at the same time, we just weren't quite ready to let go of it either. And I'm sure many of you this evening are experiencing some of those same emotions. You're proud of what you've accomplished here at LCHS, but you're ready to move on to the next part of your life. You're excited about new possibilities, new opportunities, but at the same time, perhaps you're a little bit nervous about the uncertainties the future has in store. And regardless of whatever emotions that you may be feeling tonight, deep down, you do realize that life as you know it is certainly about to change. Now, change, both within us and in the world around us, affects each of us differently. It's inevitable, but there are still things that we can do to each give ourselves the best opportunity to live happy, successful lives, regardless of what changes around us. This evening, I would like to share a few things that I've learned in the last 13 years that have helped me and should help you be successful both personally and professionally. First of all, and probably most important, recognize the value of your work to society. Many of you already have plans in place for your future, and regardless on whether you plan on beginning working here in the next few weeks or after additional education or training, you probably have an idea or at least a preference of what field you would like to make a career in. Perhaps it's business, healthcare, military, mechanics, or anything in between. But whatever career you choose to pursue, never let anyone, especially yourself, convince you that what you do is not important. You will all have bad days, and during those down times you may ask yourself the question, am I making a difference? Well, the answer to that question is yes. Yes, you are. Whether you're a businessman, a nurse, a soldier, a farmer, a welder, or on a road crew, you will be playing an essential role in making 21st American civilization the greatest this world has ever known. Never, under any circumstance, underestimate the value of your contributions to society through your profession. Now, a second key to a happy and successful life is to never stop learning. Now, we all have to be knowledgeable about the industries we're involved in, and that knowledge base has to expand over time if we expect to do a good job and advance within our careers. Classroom instruction, workshops, on-the-job training, and trade publications are all great ways to keep us up to date with the latest workplace technology and the demands of the related marketplace. Learn from others, and of course, learn from your experiences, both good and bad. But also, take the time to learn about issues and subjects that are perhaps beyond what you would normally encounter in your normal day. Things like science, history, politics, economics. Committing yourself to study and learn more than what is demanded of you will not only enrich your lives, but it will help give you a competitive advantage to capitalize on the opportunities that present themselves to you. Which brings me to my next point. Find opportunity in every obstacle. Throughout your life, you will be faced with circumstances and situations that will test your resolve. Things will not always go as smoothly as you expect, as you plan, or perhaps even as you deserve. It's easy to make excuses in those moments, explaining why you can't possibly move forward, how you've hit a dead end, how life is just too tough. Well, that's what most people do when they face adversity. But if you'll approach life's obstacles with the determination to overcome them, you will almost always find an opportunity to do so. And for those of you who are bold enough to seek out challenges in addition to those that are placed in your path, your efforts and accomplishments will gain the respect of others and will often lead to dividends that will pay off for years to come. Remember, most successful businesses, products, and services exist only because someone said, "I can and I will," where everyone else said, "I can't and I won't." History and fortune both favor those who persevere and overcome. Now here's an opportunity for some of you before I continue. It never fails. Many members of the senior class, it happened in mine, it's probably happened in yours, many members will say that they can't wait to leave Vernon and Lamar County. And it's true. Our local economy has been in a state of decline for many years. Many of the jobs, services, and activities that are available in other places simply aren't available in this area. But there have always been and always will be opportunities here for those who are willing to work hard to find them. And for those of you who do, there is an opportunity to become part of a new generation of local leadership that will provide the progressive ideas, planning, and action needed to turn our community's economy around and better the lives of all of our citizens. And one more little aside, kind of a personal example, if you don't mind me sharing, about opportunity. Last year was the worst year in the dairy industry in a generation. Thousands of farmers were forced out of business, and those of us who remain face a long road to recovery. Now, this past January, I had the opportunity to run for the chairmanship of the American Farm Bureau's Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee. But I knew that doing so, I would have a very difficult time trying to balance the demand of a recovering family farm with the responsibilities of the office. After much thought and prayer, I decided it was an opportunity that I could not pass up. I did win the election, and since I've had the opportunity to travel the country speaking to groups and attending meetings with other agricultural leaders. Hey, I'm even supposed to fly to Washington, D.C. on a private jet in a couple of weeks. Now, how many folks can say that? So during all this, I'm learning more about my industry. I'm learning and new opportunities are coming my way. And I'm developing relationships with people who can help me become a better dairyman and leader. And of course, none of this would be possible if I didn't have strong, meaningful relationships with my family members, in particular my wife and my parents. I can only do this with their willingness to sacrifice at home and on the farm when I'm away. You see, to help find and make the most of the opportunities around you, you have to cultivate meaningful relationships. Well, that's the next key to successful and happy life. How many of you are on Facebook? Show of hands, audience. Okay. It's cool to have a big list of friends on Facebook. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy to have over 1,400 followers on Twitter myself. But building solid relationships with people involves much more than sending or accepting a friend request. It takes respect, honesty, a willingness to put others' needs ahead of your own, and occasionally updating your status in person. So make a point to draw closer to the people within your family, at your workplace, and within your circle of friends that can help you accomplish your personal and professional goals. Have a core group of people who will step up to the plate for you and prove to them that you're willing to do the same for them. Now finally, if you want to live a happy and successful life, be involved in something bigger than yourself. You know, it's easy to get caught up in your own little world, your own routine, and forget about the needs of those around you. If you think you've got it pretty good, give a little back. And if life hasn't treated you as kindly as it has treated some others, still find a way to help someone. Get involved with a church, a charity, a service organization, or a volunteer group. Give of yourself regardless of what you have to offer. And by sacrificing your time, pleasure, and comforts for the benefit of others, you'll discover that you will be blessed in more ways than you could have ever possibly imagined. Now, in closing, I hope that my words this evening have given you something to think about and that you'll take my advice to heart and put them into practice. But nothing that I, or anyone else for that matter, can say will fully prepare you for the journey that is to come. You see, life is full of twists and turns, rewards and tragedies, and you'll never fully know what might be right around the corner. How you react to what life throws your way will ultimately determine your success and happiness. But if you'll recognize the value of your work to society, continue to learn, recognize and seek out opportunities, cultivate relationships, and be of service to others, more than likely you'll come out on top. So, look back and enjoy the time you've had here at LCHS. Treasure the memories and the friendships that you've made. But don't focus on the past for too long, because the future starts now. It doesn't really matter what you've done, where you've been, what you've seen, or what you think you've known. You're about to be embarking on a very, very wild ride. So get ready and hold on tight, because baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Thank you, and may God bless you and all of your endeavors.